Greetings, and thank you for joining us for the Board of Education regular meeting. It is Monday, March 8th, 2021 at 6 p.m., well, shortly after 6 p.m. In accordance with our recently passed resolution, some of our members are participating via virtually, and of course, we are happy to have some of us back here in the Board of Education location on Grant Road, as well as our superintendent. So we are going to call this meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please, Ms. Wester?
Terrell. Evans.
Present.
Piles.
And for the record, I've been advised that Ms. Piles has a doctor's appointment this evening and may or may not be attending via virtual. So hopefully, if she can, she will, but otherwise, she is excused.
As well as Miss Kennard and Ms. Beard.
Thank you, Ms. Wester. So for the record, Piles, Kennard, and Beard are excused.
Wester, President Martell.
Present. We have a quorum.
Squeaked by.
Thank you. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's been a while. It felt good to do that. I hereby move that the Board of Agenda accept the meeting agenda as presented. Is there a second, please?
Support.
Roll call, please.
Terrell. Yes. Evans.
Yes.
Wester, yes. Martell.
Yes, agenda is approved. We are hereby moving to the consent agenda portion of the meeting. As we are aware, all matters listed under the consent agenda are routine in nature and will be acted upon by one motion. There will be no separate discussion. If any member of the board or citizen requests discussion, it will be removed and will become the first item of business under the superintendent portion of the agenda. Item A is approval of the February 22nd special meeting and regular meeting minutes, as well as this February 25th special meeting and closed session minutes. Item B is to approve the bills for payment in the amount of $335,112.62. And item C is to approve the personnel actions of our Human Resource Director, Margaret Hazlett, specifically the non-retention of Tadara Crudup, who was payroll benefits coordinator, effective March 12, 2021. I move that the Board of Education approve this consent agenda as presented. Is there a second, please?
Support.
May we have a roll call, please?
Evans.
Yes.
Terrell. Yes. Wester, yes. Martell.
Yes, consent agenda is approved. And now is, of course, our favorite part of the meeting, the public comment. This is related to agenda items only. Just a real brief, if the public has not had an opportunity to review, we have the report of the superintendent, report of the director of instruction, report of the director of technology, subcommittee report, board president report, and pretty much that is it. So, is there any comments, Mr. Cooper?
There are not.
Okay, and again, there will be another opportunity for the public to communicate at the end of the meeting. Next, I'm going to turn the floor over to our superintendent, Dr. Benjamin Edmondson.
Thank you, President Martell.
Yes, sir.
It's great to see you again.
Thank you.
I beg to differ because I think that this is the favorite part of the board meeting. When you're superintendent, I'll say public comment is, I'm sorry. This is our favorite part of the agenda. I beg to differ when you say public comment. As a superintendent, public comment scares you more than anything. Just so that we're clear, the board knows. Unsolicited comments, they scare you. So, again, thank you to the board, and I always thank you for this opportunity that you've given me. I'm going to move this off because it keeps falling off. I will put it back on afterwards. I want to thank you for the opportunity that you've given me to continue to serve the community. I'm having a blast. I'm going to start with the millage renewal update. A number of things have happened. I think that you, the board, and the community, our district staff, and some of our community supporters received in my February update. I do an update every month. If anybody would like to be on that update, and you live in the city of Romulus, or you have children here, or even if you don't have children here and you're a homeowner, I would encourage you to give us a call or check out our website. You can certainly email me so that you can get on the list and find out updates. Everything is transparent. Everything is honest. I will never sugarcoat anything because that's not even in my DNA. So for the millage renewal, the community should know and the board should know that this is a renew, and I call it renew, restore, reclaim. If you are a homeowner, it does not impact you. This will not impact you at all. If you are a business owner, or if you own land or property in the district in which you do not reside, particularly the property, then this does impact you. It's a renewal, and there are certain rules to that, so I'm not allowed to suggest to anyone that, while I'm on district time, I'm not supposed to suggest that you vote for that, and that's not what I'm doing here. It's just providing an update, so it's called the Renew, Restore, Reclaim. Anybody that tells you that it's just a renewal, that is not accurate. It is a renewal, and it was a restoration of the Headley rollback. Very hard to explain in this time, but basically the rollback is, if I were to make sense for people, it's essentially your assessment. If a business is paying $17.63 right now in tax revenue per $1,000. So whatever your assessment is per $1,000, you're paying $17.63. We're asking for the maximum by law, which all districts do, which would be $18. So we're asking the business community to pay an additional roughly 36 cents additional. So that's the part where it's restoration. It's not just renewal. And the reclaim is to put our district back where it belongs. Okay, I'm a competitor, and I say that all the time, that, you know, we want to be the destination spot for any family choosing Western Wayne County for their education. And even in the city of Romulus, I want to make certain that we're the first choice. Okay, we shouldn't be a consideration. We should be the first choice. So we're working hard to do that. So Tuesday, May 4th is the millage. I think I've shared with everybody, I'm going to be out for a few weeks, so I can't be the face of that. Normally, I think I would try to be the face of it, but right now we have Ms. Carol Bales, who said that she would work with me, and she has, Ms. Danielle Funderburg as well. But I am going to encourage the Board of Education to get involved. I believe our president asked that our school board, a few members, participate on the millage committee, okay, which is on the outside, so it's not an inside job, it's outside. When you're outside, you can do a lot of things. I have a letter. I pulled all of the absentee voters from the past. I've contacted Ellen Bragg, so I've gotten that list for us. Again, I can't send anything out on district letterhead saying support, but I can give out, this is the information. But on that letter, I can say absolutely yes, to vote yes. So I have all of the absentee ballot names, and the goal is to get our letter out previous to the absentee ballots coming out. I love this stuff. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't even pretend. I love it because it's a challenge. It's a big challenge for me, and I'm saddened that I won't be able to be the face of that. So that information is coming out. I just need to tell you too, I contacted the city council, all of the members, but the email came back because I had too many pictures of kids. School started last week for our pre-kindergarten, so part of the update. So I'll be sending that out again. I met with Mark Lukowitz. I think some of you may know him. I met with him. He's a business owner across the street. Came over today and we talked about how he could be supportive to what we're doing, and I want to be supportive of what he's doing as well. So I was very excited about meeting him. So we'll be moving forward in the millage renewal work. We have Mr. David Cooper, who's working with me to update our website. Please know that our website is factual information. Anything anybody else is saying to you, I don't know if it's factual. I can't guarantee that. But I can guarantee when the website is done by the end of the week that everything is factual information, or you can just email me if you have any questions. I will share that. I will give you the honest, accurate, transparent information. So if you have those, I'll be glad to share that. for the board, again, I'm going to be gone for probably 3 weeks. I would say 3 weeks, and then hopefully I'll be able to participate virtually, or maybe somebody like Dr. Laws might be able to give me a ride into work. But, you know, I'm not compelling her, just so that we're clear. But this millage, I can't be alone. It can't be just me. It's got to be the board. It's got to be the community pushing this, because we have $10.4 million at stake. If it doesn't pass, then that's what we lose, and then it throws the district into a frenzy, and it'll also throw community members into a frenzy. I will share with this, I think it's a reality. We all know a little bit too well that you can lose your school district, okay? But I also say your school district needs to earn your support, and that's what we're definitely working on now. Not that that wasn't done before, but I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm going to earn your vote. So look for me, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Next, as other, I need you to know that we do have vacant properties. I helped on the sale of Merriman Elementary School, and I'm working again, and this time is Superior, the Superior property. It's vacant now, and I have a company that's working with us. We worked collaboratively on a lease, something that would definitely work to our advantage, and to their advantage, it would work too. Currently, the property is just sitting vacant, and I've said before, a school district has a responsibility to the community. Never leave, never close a building without knowing what you're going to do with it, one, and number two, never leave it vacant. So that's where we are now, and I have an organization that we're working on something that I would be glad to show the board once their attorney gets it, then he gives it to me, I give it to my attorney, but I will say this, I was instrumental in that lease because I know what our district needs. But look for that property to be sold at $280,000 in 2 years. They have to get it up to speed. It's terrible inside. I mean, terrible, but these guys do HVAC and things. They're convinced that they'll be able to sell it. I mean, they're convinced that they'll be able to restore it in 2 years. We're looking at a small lease of $1 a month, but they're going to take care of the cutting of the grass, the fixing of the property, the upgrading, everything. And they're going to give us $250 gift cards every month so that we can use them for kids. That's what I do here. I think you all know that. So I thought that would be a very good deal. And they have to give us $2,800 down payment. And really, the $2,800 is to take it off the market. We'll take it off the market for you for $2,800. That's 1% of the value. And we'll use that for whatever the board sees or allows me to do with that. But that'll be coming, and I've just given you in a nutshell. And I will continue to try to sell these properties that are vacant. We just got an assessment, not an assessment. What do you call it when people tell you the value of your house? Appraisal. Thank you. I did not remember. Thank you. We have an appraisal. We just got an appraisal from Olive Street too, so I'll share that with you. How much that's worth, but that's going to be next. So stay tuned. I just wanted to put that there. 3, if you don't mind, this is just letting you know, if you haven't known this, I am resetting the district. I mean, I felt that that's why I was hired. I am a change agent. I'm transformational. And, you know, Dr. Bloodsaw said to me today, I gotta actually look at her quote because it's not like earth-shattering. It just makes good sense. Nothing changes if nothing changes. I mean, it's so silly. It's simple. Funny, but it makes sense. So I wrote it down. Nothing changes if nothing changes. I don't want anybody to feel that I've come into the district trying to just change how we do things, change everything. It's not who I am. I have experience. I just have a vision. I expect professionalism at all levels, and I try to give that to you as well. I have a vision for where I think we're headed. I offer you transparency, but I also offer discretion, meaning I'm not going to just throw out everything. I mean, if there's personnel matters that need to be addressed in the right way, I will do that in the right way, but I will be transparent. And the last thing is, Ms. Evans, when I first met her, she's all about sound finances. I mean, she let me know that too, and you should be. I am here to make certain that our finances are in good order. If you looked at the audit, that didn't have a lot to do with me, but hey, we're in good shape in terms of our fund equity, and I will make sure that we stay in a sound position financially. But we're also going to have some direction in terms of where we're going. So that leads me to the next thing with our action items. There are some things that may make some comfortable. It doesn't make me uncomfortable at all. I have a responsibility to the community here. I have the responsibility to you, the board who has hired me, and I will continue to keep you informed. Again, Ms. Evans, I told her once she got on the board, I said, I'm gonna give you all the information. You didn't know that before, but I'm gonna give you all the information. So it's important for you all to be armed when you get in the community and people ask you questions, to know that your superintendent has given you the information so that you feel that you can make your accurate votes, I guess, in this case. So you have some things that are in front of you that I'm going to ask, please, for your support. I'm trying to reset the district and go in the direction that I know we can go in. And not only today, but in the following weeks, you're going to be challenged to make some tough decisions. They're coming from me. I've made a decision, but the question is, are you going to support me on it? So I hope that you do that. And I wrote a little note to myself that I'm wary of meetings, board meetings, where we don't get 7. Because I said one vote changes the course. So, as I said before, we had a vote, and it was 3-2, and people called here and say, well, it passed. No, it didn't pass. It doesn't pass. There's a percentage that it has to pass. So I'm just hoping that you support me. I don't think everything has to be 7-0. But I think that, when you get the information, you make the best decision, but I'm always going to present you with the best decision for the district. So I thank you now, and we can move on to the action items, if you don't mind, President.
Thank you, Dr. Edmondson. So at the recommendation of our superintendent, we're going to address the 2 action items. The first is regarding the termination of our consulting agreement for CTE. I hereby move that the Board of Education authorize termination of the consulting agreement with Dr. Harlan pursuant to Section 7 of the agreement. In addition, the board should designate Troon Law Firm, Troon Law Firm, PC, to provide Dr. Harlan's attorney with a written termination notice. The rationale: on August 8th, 2019, the Romulus Community Schools Board of Education and Dr. Verlin Harlan entered into a 1-year CTE consulting agreement, which automatically renewed unless either provides 90-day written notice of the termination pursuant to Section 7 of the agreement. Under the terms of the agreement, Dr. Harlan was required to provide the board a 5-year comprehensive plan and assist with the district's CTE program according to a 3-stage process. The parties' agreement renewed on August 8th, 2020, and is set to expire on August 8th, 2021. Requires the board or its designees must provide written notice of termination to Dr. Harlan on or before May 8th, 2021. If the board terminates the parties' agreement on March 8th, 2021, then it will satisfy the contract termination requirements set forth in Section 7 of the agreement, but the board will still be responsible for fulfilling its contractual obligations, i.e. Section 3, payment, Section 4, expense reimbursement, and Section 5, support services, until the agreement terminates on August 8th, 2021. It is hereby moved. Is there support, please?
Support, Wester.
Is there any discussion? I think the matter's been thoroughly discussed, both in open and closed. So at this point, we're going to have a roll call, please.
Evans,
Yes.
Terrell. Yes. Wester is yes. Martell.
Yes, motion approved unanimously. The second item is the superintendent. Based on the superintendent leave, we are going to appoint a temporary superintendent to satisfy Dr. Edmondson's duties. For these reasons, I hereby move that the Board of Education adopt Superintendent Edmondson's recommendation to contract with Sean McNatt for superintendent duties during Dr. Edmondson's leave at a rate of $500 per day, which is expected to begin around March 18th, 2021. Superintendent Edmondson is expected to be on leave, and this is the rationale, on or around March 18th, 2021, is discussed above. Dr. Edmondson is recommending Sean McNatt for contracted superintendency duties during his absence. Mr. McNatt is a seasoned superintendent, a professional colleague, and unrestricted in performing a short-term assignment. Budget implications will be from the general fund, and of course, his resume was provided as part of the package. So moved.
Support, Wester.
Supported by Ms. Wester. Is there any discussion from the board?
I would like to share if
Please.
the board has no discussion. So I know Mr. McNatt because I was in Washtenaw County. I was superintendent of IPSI. He was superintendent of Lincoln Consolidated Schools. He would always joke that he was taking my teachers, and I would joke back that I was taking his students. But I know this gentleman. We're not best buddies or anything. There is nothing that, I don't want the board to feel like, hey, is that his good friend? No, he is not my good friend. I know that he's available. He's been a superintendent in 3 districts, and right now he's available. The thing that was most important to me, frankly, and I explained that in our cabinet meeting today, is I do know him. So I don't want to use the expletives that I used with him, but I said, don't mess it up. So I told him, don't mess up what we're doing, that my cabinet is very clear on where we're going, okay? So just maintain, and also, if he had any questions, he could call me. Okay, it's not like I'm gonna be sedated for 3 weeks. I'm gonna be sedated for a couple of hours, but I told him, if you ever have any questions, and I think that's the important part of the rationale for me, was that he is a professional colleague that I do know. If I didn't know somebody in that seat, they wouldn't be as comfortable contacting me if they had to. I don't suspect that he would contact me, but I think if he had any questions, particularly if he wants to know about each of the board members, I'd be glad to share that with him. Who to expect to be on the side, but I'm being facetious there. But I do know him, and I think it would be, I would be honored for him just to fill in the seat. He's not my replacement, and I need to share that with the community because there's a rumor out there, believe it or not. I thought it was quite humorous that I'm not coming back. Now, if somebody decides I'm not coming back, then I get it. Sorry. But otherwise, I do expect this isn't a ploy or anything. I am going out. I have mitral valve. I'm having mitral valve replacement, and that's going to take me out for a good, in terms of driving, 6 weeks. But in terms of movement, I'm up after day 1 because that's what they do, but there's just a lot of pain associated the first week. So I plan to be back sometime in April, and I thank the board.
Would this be your last meeting prior to the,
This is it. I'm out.
okay,
Yeah.
well,
Next week's my birthday, Press.
okay.
March 16th.
Nice to know that. Well,
And March 18th is my surgery, so
our prayers,
appreciate it.
individually, jointly, and from the community, so.
I appreciate the prayers, but March 16th is my birthday. I'm just saying.
Just remember.
Yeah, just saying.
Twice.
But I thank the board again because I was serious in that. I really care about the district. I love the district. I'm having a lot of fun doing what we're doing, and I am very serious when I have to be serious. I'm responsible for the culture and climate of the district, and I take that seriously. I would never put somebody in a seat where I thought that we were going to go backwards.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for at least allowing me to recommend, and what you do from here is your choice. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate that. And just, if I may, Board, just want to remind the board that Mr. McNatt was one of the candidates back in August when we did our initial search. So that should, add a little, comfort to folks that might think otherwise. Another thing is,
What?
no, Mr. McNatt, there's something else. But yeah, he was, so, we've had opportunity to review his resume. He does have a substantial experience, so, is there anything else from the board?
No.
Okay, so, at the recommendation of Dr. Edmondson, the other thing, sorry, the salary.
Yeah, let's go.
I did reach out to Dr. Rod Green. The $500 was at the lower end of his recommendation. So we wanted to get, just the independent salary recommendation, which I think was important. So if there's no additional discussion, we'll go into the vote, please. Roll call.
Terrell? Evans?
Yes.
Lester, yes. Martell?
Yes, vote is unanimous, and we are, it's unanimous, and Sean McNatt will be the temporary superintendent while our Dr. Evanson is out.
Appreciate it.
So,
I do have a question from the board because I've never done something like this.
sure.
How do you meet somebody? Like, you don't want him to just show up at the board meeting and say, oh, are you Sean? Like, I don't know how I was gonna have him come in for 2 or 3 days just to walk around with me, meet people that are here. Naturally, if you'd like to meet them, you could certainly do that. If you don't mind, I can give him your email addresses and you can set things up from there. I just don't want you to not meet the guy, and then he shows up on,
Oh, sure.
on the next board meeting, you're like, oh.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
I
that
will
would be
work
great.
that out.
Whatever, I'll leave that to your discretion.
Okay, thank you.
And it looks like we are into the report of our Executive Director of Instruction, Dr. Sophia Lafayette Laws. Dr. Laws, how are you? Yes, we can. It is.
Wow, what a great day we've had today. Today, I think I just had a few minutes on the agenda to talk about our first day with our return to in-person learning, with our kindergartners coming back today. It was just a wonderful opportunity to see what was happening in the schools. I really just want to give just lots and lots of kudos to our staff at all levels. You know, in visiting the schools, I mean, from every level, you know, teachers, principals, the custodial staff, kitchen staff. I mean, everybody was just doing their part. Bus drivers, I mean, everybody was just doing their part. So excited to see children coming into the schools. We, as cabinet members, were able to get out to multiple schools. I myself got to 5 schools today. I know many of the other cabinet members got out to the schools. And what was so great about the kindergartners, you know, we often think about the first day of school in kindergarten and, you know, that separation from parents. And these kindergartners today, they were ready. They were like, see ya, I'm ready. The teachers are adapting and everybody's adapting. I think, talking to the principals as they went around in the schools, they were, happy that they have a couple of days with just the kindergartners for a variety of reasons. I mean, just helping them understand how to walk around the schools, but also to just kind of work out some of the kinks and figure out, you know, dropping kids off and parents, you know, just all those logistical things. Nothing worrisome, but just those logistics that you figure out at the beginning of a school year that we're now figuring out in March. So we just really appreciate, you know, everybody's efforts. We know that this has been not an easy transition. I mean, we're in a pandemic and it looks a lot different than what it might normally look like. And we're going to continue to make adjustments. As I was talking to some of the principals and they realized, oh, I didn't think about this, or we need to adjust here or there. And as they're connecting with one another too, and we're gathering their feedback and having them let us know what are some things that we need to be thinking about, continually thinking about as they move forward. Anything that they realize that, you know, that they need to consider or share with their colleagues, you know, from one school to another, as they just work things out. But it was just a fabulous day all around. I mean, just smiles at every level. Again, I think the parents were excited too to see their babies off. A few of them, I think there were more tears on some of the parents' side.
Tears of joy.
Yeah.
The students were fantastic. We took a lot of pictures today, and I know Mr. Cooper is working on putting together a collage of those photos, and we'll be out throughout this week. As we know, the 1st through 5th grade comes back on Wednesday, and then 6th and 9th grade will be back on Thursday and Friday. So definitely looking forward to them getting back in the schools as well. But great day. Anybody else from the cabinet wants to join or mention anything in their visits that they want to share? But we're just really proud of our staff for all the hard work that they've done to make today happen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Laws. Great things to hear, great things. At this point, we're going to move into the next portion of the agenda regarding the Director of Technology, Mr. Cooper. I know that there was a motion regarding an agreement. Did you want to, well, for the purposes of discussion, I'll open it up with the motion, and then you could add a little something into it. So I will move that the Board of Education enter into a conditional E-rate agreement. Being that there are 5 different items, and there's several different vendors, I'm going to suggest that we break it into separate motions. So the first one is going to be, I move into Move the Board of Education enter into conditional E-rate agreement with Enacomp for complete replacement of the wireless network electronics and wireless controller software. In addition, for the network switches and the smart nets. The rationale, I'm going to leave it to Mr. Cooper to explain more. Mr. Cooper, or is there support, please?
Wester, support.
Mr. Cooper, the floor is yours. We're getting to the Enacomp, or if you want to discuss the AMCOM and the Delta as well, that's fine.
I can do all of it at the same time. As you know, this is E-rate funding rate here. This is actually for the 21-22 school year. That is actually a fresh 5-year cycle of our E-rate Category 2 funding. You get so much money based on your enrollment. And we get, as you can see in the tables, we get some reimbursements of that. By no means are we going to upfront that money. That is not a sound practice. We do have to wait for USAC to come through and reimburse, to agree to it, so we don't wait for a reimbursement. We just pay at the actual cost of it. Okay, but the total amounts that you see there are rather large, and they count towards our E-rate funding that they proclaim to us based on our students. We basically get, it's like $450 per student that we get. So roughly stated, like our Category 2 E-rate over 5 years is about $450,000. Right now, there were some, we went through our bids and we got 3 different bids, as you see in there, from my letter, from all of them. The Enacomp for the wireless, I will say there was some good competition bids in that one, but this isn't going to be a complete replacement. We have kind of Band-Aid ourselves for the past couple of years, and even working with Wayne Reeser to go through, you know what, it's just time, let's do a complete replacement so we don't have different makes and models all over the place. We've got one brand new system there, so we have much more control over everything. We get every building, including our ECC, because that is part of this too. That is actually the AMCOM part of this. Now that our EC can be included into our E-rate, we're going to do a whole bunch of wiring upgrade there so we can get them Wi-Fi in all their buildings. For the past couple of years, it has been just, hey, we've got an extra access point. Let's put it in this classroom, put it there so they can get their access, for them. In this day and age, not even at that level with the GSRP program there, they need to make sure that they have full Wi-Fi, available to them also. And then the Delta network services that you see there, the last line right there, that is our firewall. That is what protects us. We're in the process right now, still working out to do our complete replacement of our server to bring it back from Wayne Reeser, bring it back here to fully control it. And we need the firewall for our, same term, just protection. You don't not have a firewall basically there. And again, that's a license, so it's no matter what, this kind of money has to come up every few years just to renew that license for us. So again, the money looks a little high, but understand we're not going to enter any agreement until we get the say so from USAC to say we get approved. There's no reason why we're not going to get approved, and the cost is what's actually going to come out of our pocket, so to say.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. And just for the public, in review of the numbers, the majority of the funds are being reimbursed.
Correct.
Okay, so with that being stated, there is a motion on the floor for the Enacomp. First and foremost, it's been supported. Can we have a roll call, please?
Sorry, Terrell? Yes. Evans?
Yes.
Wester, yes. Martell?
Yes. Motion is approved. Second, AMCOM, I move that the Board of Education enter into a conditional E-rate with AMCOM. That's for the network cabling, as Mr. Cooper discussed, with an expected E-rate reimbursement that's $49.90 with an expected E-rate reimbursement of $42.41.50, with the district to pay $748.50 after the reimbursement. Is there support?
Support.
Roll call, please.
Evans?
Yes.
Terrell?
Yes.
Wester, yes. Martell?
Yes, motion is approved. And last is the firewall, Delta Network Firewall Services. I move that the Board of Education enter a conditional E-rate agreement with Delta Network Services for firewall hardware and services. The cost is $57,135 with the E-rate reimbursement of $48,564, resulting in a district portion to be $85.70 and 25 cents. Is there support?
Support, Wester.
Is there a roll call, please?
Evans?
Yes.
Terrell?
Yes.
Wester, yes. Martell?
Yes, motion's approved unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Cooper, for, again, your dedication to our technology department. I have seen the improvements, and much appreciated.
Thank you very much. This is going to be a big improvement for our whole entire district.
Now, we are going to move into the report of subcommittees. I don't believe we have any reports today, correct?
Correct, is for
Okay. Report of the board president. There are a couple things I wanted to discuss briefly. Yes.
Would you like to go back, at least for the public, and you've done some subcommittee changes?
Yes, sir. I was going to announce that. No, that's fine. During the board president piece. So I did have a couple announcements. First and foremost, if you could bear with me for just one moment, I want to pull up the changes we've made to our committees, which I feel are going to be beneficial and in the best interest of our district. Just one moment, please. So with the retirement of Ms. Funderburg from our board, of course, it was necessary to appoint a member to take her place on the Finance Committee. And if the community remembers, some of these assignments were initially issued back in January of 2019. And essentially, it was two members to each committee, with the board president kind of acting as an ad hoc member. We were in a different place in time back then. I think we've progressed in more than I ever expected. We're doing great. And after operating in this manner for over a year, I felt that this process will be, of our committees, it would be more effective, and our board and district best served with 3 members on each committee plus an alternate. So in accordance with the authority vested in me from our policies and procedures, I made the following new committee assignments, which technically remain the same with the exception of the newly appointed 3rd member and the alternate. However, I feel that it would be beneficial because a committee needs 3 to come to a decision, and quite oftentimes, 1 isn't available. So the policy committee, who was previously Ms. Beard and Ms. Kennard, will now also have Ms. Piles with Ms. Evans as the alternate. The HR committee, who previously had Ms. Wester and Ms. Piles, now has Ms. Evans as well, with Ms. Terrell as the alternate. Our finance committee had Ms. Terrell and Ms. Funderburg, now has Ms. Terrell, in addition, Ms. Evans and Ms. Kennard, with Ms. Wester as the alternate. In addition, with 4 pending contracts coming up, the following members have been appointed to the negotiations committee. Myself, Martell, as well as Ms. Terrell, Ms. Wester, and Ms. Piles is the alternate. And I just want the community and fellow board members to know that these appointments were made in good faith and fairness, with the understanding that myself and Trustee Beard do have limited availability at the present time. And so, I'm very hopeful that these committee assignments will be more effective than the previous way we were doing things. So there's that. Other than that, as Dr. Edmondson spoke about earlier, I want to encourage and challenge my fellow board members to join me in participating on their own time in the millage efforts that are going to be taking place. This is going to be, of course, outside of our duties as board members, but it's necessary that as leaders within this district, that that we they say in the ministry, they say faith without works is dead. We have to strike the rod to the ground, action, right? And so, I just you know, we're rolling in the right direction, and we're rolling fast. I don't want a minor, you know, it ain't minor, but I don't want any setbacks, and I think that this is a, you know, great way to show that we're serious about our dedication to our community. So feel free to send me an email or Dr. Edmondson, and let's get it done. So other than that, that's it, and I'm going to go on to the next section, communications from the public. Is there anybody on the Google Meet that has a comment from the public? Is there are none on the that came in through our media? Okay, if not, I want to open it up for board members. Board members?
Well, I'll start out. I'm happy to see face-to-face here.
Yeah.
And I've talked to a few parents. They've sent me messages. Happy that the kids are back in school.
Yes, ma'am.
Happy that the kids are back in school. Couple of them have junior high kids wondering why it was postponed for them to start. I explained to them, we're getting the buses going. We want to get the sixth graders there to get acclimated to the building, walking them around, showing them how to switch classes, the same with the ninth graders. And one parent was very happy because her daughter was very stressed. She doesn't know where her classes are. She doesn't know the building. So parents are very happy with how we staggered. Those that I've spoken to are very happy that we staggered the attendance starting.
Thank you, Ms. Evans. Is there any additional?
I just want to thank Dr. Laws and Dr. Edmondson and the whole team for getting this face-to-face learning back together. I know it was a hard battle to overcome.
It was a hard vote.
Very hard, but understandable. I'm on the front line, so I know.
Right.
So I just want to thank them for all the hard work. Mr. Garland for making sure we have all our PPE and everything. We're working together. We're working hard as a community. And I'm glad to see us moving forward under the right direction. I thank you so much, Dr. Edmondson, for your fortitude. I know we get on your nerves sometimes with the questions, but being persistent and keeping us informed of what's going on really makes a difference. So I truly, truly appreciate it. And wishing you a happy early birthday.
Now, I know you make cakes and pies and stuff, so we'll see. And the board doesn't need to think you're getting away with just one cake. I'm just saying.
But wishing you an early happy birthday and good luck on your upcoming procedure. So just let you know we're here for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wester. Is there any additional?
Yes, there is for me, but, you know, I was looking to make sure Ms. Terrell didn't have anything that she needed to say. I think she's good. Ms. Terrell, I hope that picture over there works for you, okay? Just so that you know. Oh, she sees it. A couple of things you all have now. We'll be putting your pictures up. That's what a board room should look like. We've made some minor adjustments in this room. That's part of the sinking fund. You can't have all of the buildings looking good and then you don't tend to your own building. So you'll see a few changes that are coming. I know President Martell was telling me what he saw here. Yeah, we're making some positive changes here. Because when parents come in, everything is on display. And Ms. Evans, I know that. She knows that. Parents come to your door, they're looking. They're looking to see. So you're going to see some upgraded playground equipment, too. That's going to be coming, should in the summer. We're trying to work that out at all of our elementary schools, because we want to look like we're updated, and we are here. Just a note for all of our parents in particular. We are looking for paraprofessionals. We need paraprofessionals in our classrooms. This isn't me just simply throwing out an opening. This is a need that our district has. We have a need to have paraprofessionals. So if by chance you're interested in working around kids, and please know that a lot of us have started our careers as paraprofessionals, or we started as something that we're not now. You have to start somewhere. It's a great opportunity to work for Romulus Community Schools, great leaders in buildings, great staff members, great teachers, great custodians, maintenance and other ancillaries. Administrative assistants too, can't forget them too. So we have those openings. If you're interested, please check our website at romulusk12.org.
Dr. Edmondson?
Yes, ma'am.
Just real quick, what are the qualifications? Because if parents are hearing you say, oh, all of these are
Yes.
positions, how do they qualify?
Miss Hazlett, we're gonna let you know, I hope that you heard that. What are the qualifications? Because we do have postings, so I'd like her to say so that I don't say the wrong thing. Miss Hazlett, paraprofessional, qualifications.
Sure. So you have to have a high school diploma or equivalent. We really want you to have the right kind of attitude in terms of a caregiver, someone who enjoys children. We really feel that with respect to the training and the other job responsibilities, that we can provide that for you. We're really looking for people who want to be involved, want to make a difference, enjoy children, and we think that we can take the rest from there. So high school diploma or equivalent is the minimum requirement in terms of the educational component, but really it's those attributes of being a caregiver, enjoying children, and being willing to learn. We think that we can help you with the rest.
Thank you.
Thank you. Soft skills is important, and I will say that I set the tone in the district, so you're not coming in with an attitude. That's not gonna work here. You wanna work here, you come with the right attitude, and we will support you along the way. You don't wanna work here, then I suggest you go to one of our neighboring institutions. Now, I'll move on there. That's a little plug. One of our businesses, and I forgot, I should have said this in my report, and I apologize. We have Osborne Concrete. I think you know who they are. They've been very supportive of us. I went by there today, and they said they are looking for CDL drivers. They will train you at $15 an hour and train you to get your CDL license. They prefer 18-year-olds, so he said to me, hey, if you have 18-year-old graduates, and then I said, well, what about parents? He said, we'll take parents too. Osborne, I think, is on North Line, and I don't remember the other
River
one.
Drive.
What is it?
Huron.
Huron River Road. Great company to work, for whom to work, $15 an hour starting. And again, they're looking for drivers to drive their semi-trucks, but they will teach you. So if you're 18 years old, you have a good work ethic, and you have the right attitude, please go on over to Osborne Concrete. Make sure that you tell them that Romulus Community Schools sent you. So I told them I would do that for them. I was remiss too in saying that I found a business supporter that said that that business will pay for our efforts for the millage. They will do the photocopying, they will do anything that we need to get the information out. I won't reveal who that company is, but come on, let's be for real, you should be able to figure that one out. But they're going to help us with our millage, the outside campaign. So we'll have Carol Bales, Ms. Funderburg, and two or three of our board members. I know we didn't say that, but maybe 2 or 3 of our board members could help with that, getting that information out, and we have somebody to support us. And the last thing for me was that I also visited schools like everyone else. The greatest comment I had today was when I went to Barth, and these 2 little kids, they're kindergarten, they walked by me and said, we like being in school better than we do at home. And I said, we like you better at school than we like you at home too. It was just the cutest thing just to see. And, you know, I encourage you, go and see smiles. That's why I'm in the business. I'm in the business for those kids. I'm not in here for the adults. I'm here for the kids. So I always say, when I make decisions, they're easy. I sleep well at night because I keep kids in mind. And that's why we're here. So if you get a chance to visit, please do. I want to thank my cabinet for getting out there today and visiting every school and talking to teachers. I want to thank particularly our kindergarten teachers today. I've already thanked our RECC staff, but I'd like to thank our kindergarten teachers because there's a lot of angst coming in here, a ton. And I know they saw some things today that they'll do differently tomorrow because we're learning. As our secretary has here, she has moving pieces, and that's what that is, but we are committed to keeping kids safe here. And I'm looking forward to having a smooth transition the next 2 months or so. But thank you to our kindergarten instructors and to our staff. So that's it for me. I had a great time today, and I thank the Board of Education again for giving me this opportunity to lead the district.
If there's nothing further, at this point in time, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Support Wester,
Can we have a roll call, please?
Evans,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
Wester, yes, Martell,
Yes,
6:57.
meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Have a great night. Stay safe, and see you in 2 Mondays.
Have a good night.